Song of the South, sweet potato pie and I shut my mouth. Now, I've never been known for my ability to carry a tune, but I can grow a sweet potato every now and then. And today, we're gonna get the last little bit of our sweet taters out of the ground. So this is what's left of my sweet tater plot. You can see those little dips and trenches there where we dug them up, and I've mowed down most of what was left of the vines. All that's left here to dig is this little about 10-foot long piece, starting where that digging fork is stuck in the ground and back towards this way. Almost all this was Georgia Jet sweet taters. We had this little 10-foot piece here. My buddy Wes over at the Naked Hog channel sent me some purple sweet tater slips. So I was a little later getting those in the ground than the others, and I've waited to dig them, and today is the day to see how the purple sweet taters did compared to our Georgia Jets out here. But before we dig those, let's go underneath the barn and see what we got on the storage rack from our Georgia Jet harvest. So here's our storage rack that we like to use to store all kind of dry vegetables, onions, garlic, Irish potatoes, winter squash, pumpkins, and sweet potatoes. This thing is, I think it's 10 foot long by 4 foot wide, and it has 4 racks on it. We usually use the first 3 racks for storing vegetables and stuff, and then I use the top rack just for miscellaneous supplies and all that. We can see here on this rack, second from the top there, we still got quite a few of our South Anna butternut squash sitting up there. And those are holding on pretty good. It's been a few months since we harvested them. We've been eating away at them. And these things keep for a long time. Every now and then I'll have one go bad in there. I'll see where it gets soft. I'll throw that one away so it doesn't ruin any of the rest of them. But those are storing really well. And then down here is where we have our Georgia Jet sweet potatoes. Now, we've given quite a few of these away, but that's what we got left, and we've been eating on them quite a bit. It was a decent harvest this year. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst, but you know, just a decent harvest. And they're just sitting here doing their thing. They store really well here in the shade, nice airflow, nice cool spot. Now, we get a lot of people asking about storing or curing sweet potatoes, and we talk about curing sweet potatoes. After you harvest them, you want to kind of let them sit for a few weeks, and the flavors will mature and they'll taste a lot better after they have cured. Now, for us, curing just means putting them on this rack right here, just wooden rack, or you know, supported with wood. We got hardware cloth here where the actual vegetables are sitting, so you got nice airflow, cool underneath this barn, shaded and everything. And down here in the south, we don't have to worry about frost freezing them or anything because it's underneath this barn. Even if it gets to freezing temperatures outside, it really doesn't affect anything under here. Now, a lot of people up north will ask about curing sweet potatoes because evidently the curing process requires some level of humidity that they may not have up north this time of year. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really know how you would do that up north, how you would generate that humidity, but maybe some of our viewers that live up that way can give you some pointers here in the comments below and let you know how you could do it if you live somewhere where you don't have that humidity necessary to cure the sweet potatoes. Now, as I mentioned, we had an okay, not a bumper record harvest or anything. We probably waited a week or so too late to harvest these guys, and Sally came in here and a lot of them rotted in the soil. We had to throw a bunch of them away, and a lot of times be digging around there and just feel skin or mush, and it just had too much rain there right when they were getting ready and made a lot of them rot. Some of them we had some splitting issues, which you can see right here. Not a big deal. They'll split and heal over. Those will eat just fine. We'll just cut around that. Not a huge deal. But we did get some decent ones. This is a really nice one right there. And these little small ones, I actually like these little small ones. They cook up right nice. You know, if you like to put them in the oven, we like to make fries out of them a lot of times, put them in the air fryer and such. So it's okay with us if we get some big ones and some little ones. And that'll be plenty enough sweet potatoes for us to eat on throughout the winter. These things usually store at least 5 to 6 months for us. Nice solid food supply throughout the cooler months. All right, so now let's head back out to the garden and get this last little 10 feet of row up and see how these purple sweet potatoes did for us. All right, you might not can see this on the video, it might not be super clear, but I can tell where this row is right here because the soil's kind of raised. You can see those sweet potatoes kind of pushing the soil up there. I've already removed the drip tape I had here. We didn't really need it towards the end of this grow out because it's been so wet. But I pulled up that drip tape, so no risk in puncturing or getting that tangled up my digging fork. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just come through with my digging fork, just kind of lift this row on both sides here where the soil's raised. Now that we got it lifted, it's time to get in here and scratch around, and there's just no real easy way to do this without getting dirty. So we just kind of pull those vines out of the way, moving the soil around. There's a pretty decent one, a little split in there. Uh-oh, see that? That one done started rotting. Throw that one away. Little baby right there. Let's see, too much water. That's what happens. Keep moving along here, maybe we'll find some decent ones. That one there, rotten. What happens when you get too much rain, you can see a piece of one there. Hopefully, there we go. That's a nice one. We can live with that. These don't look like them purple ones yet. Maybe we're still got a few of these Georgia Jets in the ground. That one will work. See what else we got here. A little baby peanut right there. Hopefully we'll get in these purple ones here pretty soon. I thought I had gotten to the edge of them. Let's see if we can find some purple sweet taters here. Where are they at? That's a rock. Well, this could be an unsolved mystery. There's something right there. That looks like a purple sweet potato. Maybe there's more where that came from. Get all these vines out of the way. There we go. There's your purple sweet tater. Right there. There's a nerdin. Right there. Not too bad. There's one way down there. Little one. There's some there. These are a little longer and skinnier than the others. There's a nice one. These don't seem like they rotted. Got too wet like the other ones, which is interesting. I'm gonna move on down here. And we've got a few more feet of row here left. We ain't getting a ton of them, but we ought to have enough to do a good little taste test. There's a good one right there. Little peanut. Some of these are way down there. There's a big one I see. That might be the honey hole right there. That one broke off a little bit, but we can salvage that one. There's a good one right there. A little more scratching. Check right here at the beginning of the row. I think my wife might already been scratching right here. There might not be any more. That might be all of them. And if it is what it is. There's one more right there. A couple more. Out there, it's already sprouting. Yep, I believe that's all of them. So not too bad. We got a few there. Enough to make a good judgment on whether they worth growing again or not. Decent size there. And these, besides that one right there, I ain't sure what happened, if I broke it off or what. But I didn't pull the first purple one that was rotted, whereas, as you've seen, we had a good proportion of these that had rotted. So these may be a little more better to grow if you got too much moisture, or if you get a hurricane comes through. Now I don't know what this purple variety is called. Wes said he just picked up these purple sweet potatoes from Whole Foods. It's over there where he lives in Louisiana, and grew out his own slip. So I don't know what that variety is called, but they are indeed purple. Let's cut a couple Georgia Jet open and a purple one open, so we can kind of compare the inside color here. There's a Georgia Jet. Where's this one that sprouted here? We can sacrifice this one. So there you can see the difference there. There's your Georgia Jet. Looks like a traditional sweet potato. Nice kind of orange to light yellow color. And then that purple one there is nice and pretty. And we do know anytime we eat things that are purple, they're rich in those anthocyanins and super good for you. These almost seem like they got a little white ring on the inside of them, so they look like they're going to be pretty tasty. So we'll just take these and set them on our rack here on this hardware cloth. Get all of them here, at least all the good ones. There we go. So we'll spread them out a little bit. We need to have them stacked on top of one another. Spread them out a little bit. And we'll let them puppies sit right there for a couple weeks, let them flavors kind of mature. They'll store good on that hardware cloth, good airflow. Nice and cool spot here underneath the barn, and hopefully in a few weeks we can do us a little taste test. Now one of the things I've always heard about these purple sweet potatoes, like I said, this is the first time growing them, is that they taste really awesome, but the productivity is not quite there compared to a good standby variety like your Georgia Jet here. But I can honestly say I don't think the productivity was that far off. Now it's hard to kind of compare apples to apples because so many of these kind of rotted in the ground, and these didn't seem to rot. I didn't catch any of them that were rotten. These purple ones do seem to have a fairly longer maturity date than say your Georgia Jets, which are pretty early maturing variety. But I don't think the production is that far off. Now I'm interested to try and taste these, and we can kind of give our final results in when we do try them. But I'd like to hear about your successes or your trials with these purple sweet potatoes. If you've grown them before, how did you view the productivity compared to a normal sweet potato variety, an orange sweet potato variety, so to say? How was the productivity when you grew them? And also, how do you cook these things? You cook them like a normal sweet potato, you know, put them in the oven, bake them, cut them up, make fries. The flesh on these seems to be a little more crisp than, say, these guys. So it'll be interesting to see. Let me know what's your favorite way to cook purple sweet potatoes. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get notified every time we come out with a new video. And if you did enjoy this video, check out these other two sweet potato videos right here. I think you'll really enjoy those as well. We'll see you next time.